Today I learned 3 smart phrases that I'm gonna tell you in my today's videos as covering my insights. So hey everyone, this is Bharti. Welcome to my channel and it's my day 21, the end of week 3. Yes, to transform my English from B1 to C1. So let's start our today's practice. As usual, the step number 1 is the shadowing. So here is a glimpse of it.
If I desire to have friends who throw themed parties.
I desire to have friends who throw themed parties.
You repeat, right?
Then
perhaps I should consider organizing such parties myself. Say it with me. Together. Here we go. If I desire to have friends who throw themed parties, then perhaps I should consider organizing such parties myself. Alright, as shadowing is done, now let's move to the step number 2, the active learning. So in this, I need to share the insights I learned from watching any video or reel. Here they are in the form of journaling that I wrote them as a notes. Okay, now I'm gonna share with you to cover them as my speaking. So 3 smart phrases that I learned, we call them in Hindi. You must have heard most of the time in your life. The first one is Der aaye durust aaye. That can use it in English version, that it's better to be late than never. Yes, it's better to be late than never. For an example, finally I have been consistent since too many days. It's better to be late than never. Now the second one, सोच समझकर कदम उठाना. So in English we call it as a phrase, look before you leap. Yes, look before you leap. For an example, before quitting your job, look before you leap. Now the third one, that is जैसा करोगे वैसा भरोगे. So in English we call it, what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. For an example, to get success in life, you should follow the right path with honesty, because what goes around comes around. Alright guys, as my all insights are done today. Alright guys, I completed my step number 2. Now let's move to the step number 3 of my daily practice, that is the AI real conversations. Yes, so here is the glimpse of it. Welcome back for day 21. What are we working on for your practice session today?
Alright, let me share my today's insights with you. So today I learned 3 smart phrases to sound smart and native. Yeah, and these are the most usable phrases in our Hindi. For an example, first one is Der aaye durust aaye. That means it's better to be late than never. Second one is look before you leap. That is used for सोच समझकर कदम उठाना. Third one is what goes around comes around. मतलब कि जैसा करोगे वैसा भरोगे.
Those are excellent phrases to add to your toolkit. Better late than never is perfect for when something takes longer than expected. Look before you leave reminds us to be cautious, and what goes around comes around speaks to the principle of cause and effect.
So as I completed my insights with you, now I wanna wrap up my whole week 3. Do you know it's my end of week 3? So I'm gonna practice one more time the 2 tongue twisters as I practice in this week. First one is the seashells one, and the second one is wood chuck chuck. So let's give it a try one more time.
Let's finish up by trying both tongue twisters one last time. First, she sells seashells by the seashore. And then, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck wood as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
She sells the seashells by the seashore. She sells the seashells by the seashore. Now the second one. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck as much wood as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? The woodchuck would chuck all the wood he could chuck if the woodchuck would chuck wood.
You've done an amazing job. Both tongue twisters were recited perfectly. Congratulations on completing day 21 and wrapping up a fantastic third week of practice. So, yes, guys, finally I completed my day 21, week 3 as well. Now, see you tomorrow for the reflection part. Bye bye, take care.